evening, everybody, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. What's going on here? Getting freeze-ups here. Don't know what's going on. Okay. It's time for Tactical Tuesday, where we talk tactics, gear, and more. We'll be a little bit more about more tonight, because tonight's topic is, what is the hardest part of prepping for you? And how's everybody doing there? All right, let's see who all's here. And let's go up to the top here. First one in was Crew 1351, followed by Wendy at Hardnack Farms. Then Moon over Miami. Then Shady Hill Homestead. Geeky Gardens. And everyone's talking back and forth here. Chef Tech, who will be up here in a second. Diana, Little Known Prepper. And here's Mark.
Hey.
Hey. What's the hardest part of prepping for you guys? Right now,
stopping.
For me, it's the heat and fixing problems in the heat. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, well, if you're in last night's live stream, had a slight interruption with across the street. The finally got it hot enough over there for my daughter to say, all right, get the air conditioning fixed. Call the guys who will pay for it.
It wasn't a capacitor for the motor or something?
It was the capacitor on the compressor motor that got out. And I guess that's not too uncommon. But the guy also informed them that this one's so old that the coolant in it is the old type Freon that they can't recharge anymore and stuff. So
yep. Got to evac and recharge and put the new kit on there and put a different coolant in there, and then it doesn't work worth a damn. But yeah.
So you got to go to a new one that's actually going to work with it. So anyways, yeah, he cut them some slack. It was a $75 evaluation thing, and it took him like 5 minutes to do. He goes, don't worry about it. Don't tell anybody I did this.
Yeah. he probably had one in his truck on a good motor. It's like, this one's good because we replaced it because the motor failed. Slapped it on there at work. There you go. Have a nice day. No guarantees because there's no paperwork on it.
Yeah, exactly, which is fine because I have expected to have to replace that AC unit over there.
Is that a whole house? Is that a whole house unit or is that a casement?
All right, so the furnace is in the basement with the heat exchanger in the furnace, and it has the
air handler. Yeah,
it has the outside unit sits. The courier outside unit sits right on a little cement pad outside.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. When I went over after the live stream, about 20 minutes after the live stream last night, it was feeling pretty good in there.
Good.
She goes, yeah, it's not all blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, you got to wait for all the furniture to cool down, all the interior walls to cool down, the floor to cool down, the ceiling.
For everything to lose the heat that it's gathered over the last month.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And I haven't been over there this morning, but, there wasn't any problems with Eli today that I know of, other than the first thing in the morning he was it was yesterday morning he was sick and threw up. This morning, as far as I know, there was no problems. Maria, his morning worker, picked him up and was gone by 8 o'clock. And so there wasn't any problems for the afternoon. He went out with rides with two other workers.
Oh, good.
Two at a time. There was one was the BI, the other one was the PT. And so with two of them, he was really, I got friends. Oh man.
So right. one of the hardest things about prepping is learning how to change gears, going from one item or one school of thought to another, consolidating them, not overwhelming yourself with one particular thing. Like, I need to collect water. Let me freeze dry 8 million gallons of water. You know, it's yeah, no, that's why I did that. But
Yeah.
It's the individual things. It's like, you know, when I first sort of started, I mean, I was always technically a prepper. I always just had stuff, but not necessarily food. And starting with that was the Y2K thing. You know, we just kind of bought some extra stuff and kept it around.
Yeah.
And we ate it eventually. And then we just started getting a little more. We then had a cabinet with extra stuff in it. And then we had another cabinet with extra stuff. And then 2012 and all the other garbage in between, and 2001, you name it.
2012. Oh, yeah, that was the big movie time, you know.
Yeah. As the world's coming to an end, you better have a stockpile of food. Yeah. And drive around in a Winnebago down at, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's its own issue right there. I had that issue. I kind of don't worry about it now because I had a friend, and yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, John's Life came in, Fiosha's came in. Anyways, yeah, there's everyone has a little bit of hard times doing it. And I think one of the things that you mentioned applies to a lot of people, even though they don't realize it. And that is changing gears, changing your mindset.
And not really changing it, altering it, adding to it, and minimizing certain things in your mind, and just controlling yourself in terms of going overboard on one particular thing. Most of us are guilty of it in some extent. I am.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the hardest things about prepping for me was the mindset my wife's been trying to beat into my head for over 38 years now. Well, it'll be 38 years in another 2 months. Actually, less than 2 months now. Go with the cheaper stuff, save money. It'll pay out in the long run. Let's see. But so like I've been doing things, talking to her. All right, I can do it this way here or that way here, which is cheaper. And so she's having me do stuff cheaper, and it's coming around. It's like, okay, now I got to redo the whole system because cheaper doesn't work. And so. Yeah, I think she may be thinking about going ahead and getting the AC unit for this house next year or the following year. It keeps getting hot like this.
How cold does it get there? Because you're probably prime candidate for a heat pump, a good one.
Well, the coldest I've had here was winter of 22 when we had when they really started saying polar vortex, and we got one of the trash cans out back on the north side of the house, went out there with my infrared thermometer, minus 28.
Oh yeah, well,
several times.
I mean, I have a heat pump. It's from Bosch. Mine's rated down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll still work. It cycles a little more often, but then I got the gas heat as the backup on my furnace. Air handler runs all the time.
Yeah, we have the gas furnace here. We got the wood burning stove still in the living room, but yeah. But the thing is, it's the things that's getting us is like right now we aren't metered on our water, and it looks like it's gonna be a couple more years before we get metered on our water. And I was talking to the city council last Thursday beforehand about, hey, once the meters are all changed, you get all new meters in, don't go to a volume yet until you see how much people are actually using. And I told him, froze. Some water districts are a little bit kinder than others. And it's getting the example is if you're a household of 4 or 5, you get so many gallons of baseline water. If you're a single person, you get so much baseline water. Your family of 8, you get so much baseline water. And then you go over that, you start getting dinged, and everybody gets dinged the same though. Same amount for the first tier over. It jumps for the second tier over, and it jumps for the third tier over. And they were like, "Oh, people whining about that." Yeah, they're going to whine about it till it's them that's getting nailed for the stuff. So it's just like, and then some utilities do a senior citizen discount. Those are on fixed income. So, and sometimes I know in California, they can, if someone files that on that, they submit that to the state, and then they get reimbursed from the state to cover the difference for the senior citizen discount and what a normal, single or double occupancy home would have. But so in the meantime, I've been cooling the house by putting last year I had the oscillating fan sprinklers up there on the roof, and it was doing pretty good, but the wind picked up and it really blew it over and everything else. Then I started out this year with some little sprinklers that have a little spinner on it. It has a little square head with a spinner on it. Mm-hmm. And I could only get 3 to work on the city water pressure for the amount of water. And they were putting out a lot of water, but it wasn't going far. Yesterday morning, mid-morning, I replaced that. I got 1-inch Schedule 40 pipe, put it up there with T's on, little legs coming off to brace it on the peak, going from one end to the other. And I got little
16th inch.
Well, it has a 1032 thread on it, spray heads. And it comes
little jets, yeah.
Of 360, 180, or 90 degree. And I went on my drill with a drill bit with tap on it. Actually, hang on. I got some here. I can show it to you close up here so you know what I'm talking about for those that don't know that with this sort of thing. So I'm going to show you. You see, you got the drill bit for the first 3/8 of an inch, and then for the rest of it, it's tap.
Right.
So I drill in the thing, and it's threaded. Then I just put the piece in there, and I screw it in, and I aim it to where I want it to aim. And it used probably 1/5 the water it was using before, and the roof was still covered and cooling off fairly nicely. The water that was being captured in the gutters and put into the IBC totes was a little bit warmer because the volume for cold water going over the hot roof was less. But then I also had because of the tin roof in back over the patio, even though it's white, it reflects a lot of heat, it still gets hot. And last year, the articulated ones, I could tick it over a couple ticks and it would catch a little bit of that and cool that off. But with the misters, it wasn't cooling off at all. And I was using some other sprinklers up there. Anyways, I got it all fixed up, and so that it's all running off of one timer. And the one timer will provide enough volume for both pipe systems to cool the roof. And it took me how many years to be able to figure it out and finally tell the wife, this ain't working. I got to spend some money. Now, here's the good part about this is.
That's my plan for my new house, is to run not PVC because it's going to be exposed to the sun, but, some kind of a good steel pipe, conduit, galvanized, drill the holes, tap it, put small jets in there and hook it up to my water system. That way, if there's a fire or something coming, I can just turn it on, keep the roof wet, and it'll dribble down because I don't want to put gutters on the house.
I got to go back to the comments here. I got to go back here a ways. Okay. So I got to stop this so I know where to pick up on it here. So, guys, I'm going to get to your comments in a second here. So what I'm going to do, since it's white PVC pipe, it will last 15, 20 years in the sun, no problem.
Right.
However, the roof is kind of a light medium brown. Well, the Rust-Oleum has two body car primers, gray and a brown, that matches perfectly with my roof.
There you go.
I will paint the whole pipe. I got it set up with unions every 10 feet, so I go over, spin it apart, take it down, set it down below, and I can paint it this winter. Put it back up next spring. You won't see it hardly at all, and it's protected.
Did you run it at a slight incline or decline to the water inlet, so when winter comes, you can just shut it off and it drains itself out? You don't have to worry about freezing in the pipes and freezing.
Sort of. One of the so I have the pipe going along. Actually, I have a pipe going along like this, and I got two 90s every 5 feet. One flowing off this side, one coming off this side with the slope of the roof. I haven't done it yet, but I picked up today. I picked up a bunch of
Ball valves,
30-10 stainless steel screws, and I can just take that little tap and drill. So it comes off about 18 inches, and it's got a cap on the end. Well, I can just drill a hole in the cap.
Oh, okay.
And then I just put this and just put the stainless steel plugs in for where I need it. Pull them out during the winter time. But I'm going to pull it down this first winter, and just so I can paint it and get. And that way I set it back up next time and leave it up. But yeah, I'll be able to drain the water out of it. Out of both the ones I'm doing, I'm setting it up so that I can just drain water out of it. But one of the legs that comes down is where the hose hooks into it. So at that point, I could do that, and all the water, or most of the water drains out except for the legs. So I just got to do the legs. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it was
back to prepping.
Yeah, it's a learning curve for the prepping to figure out what's going to work best. And 3 years, when they start charging the water, my using it, I'm capturing 70% of the water off the roof right now and reusing it. So in 3 years, when they start if that's going to put me over, of course, that's going to help boost my baseline. When I go over it, I can just drop the 1.5 inch suction hose into the irrigation ditch, pump and fill up all my barrels.
There you go.
And I got 2 days a week to pump. Well, it'll only take an hour and a half to fill up all my IBC totes full. And then, and so I can just, go over and put it in there, pump it, drive, and be done. All right, let's get to some of everybody else's stuff, things they've learned. Okay. John said, yeah, it's not just owning the gun, owning the ammo, having the training to use the firearm. It's having the gunsmithing training to make repairs if you need to. Yeah, train with your duty ammo not happening. Yeah, when I was working for the sheriff's department, we used to get 1,000 round case of 38 wad cutters. You could put in for it free, and I put in for it, used half of it, put in for it the next time, used half of it. So I had the other for any time I wanted to go to the range and practice. And they were good. If you went to the range and practice more often, they were fine with that.
Yeah.
Thursday night, I got several things on that. Kaylin just sent me a news link on it about it, and then I got another one even more in depth on it. And then, but before I got those two, I saw a great meme about it, and so we're going to cover it very well on Thursday night. Let's see. Yeah, don't cheap out on gear. Good gear pays for itself.
Yep.
Tools too. Good tools pay for themselves. It's like when I have to get some things, say, the Craftsman 19.2 volt, which I've been using for 30 years. They no longer make them, and they've gone to 20 volt with a different type battery. Anyways, I needed to get a couple things here and that were different that I didn't have, so I went with the Ryobi 40 volt. Some of the things I wish I'd gone with the 40 volt, like the weed eater and the blower. Anyways, yeah, don't cheap out on the cheapy gear. Get stuff that'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. My company gave me a coupon or a voucher to get a pair of Red Wing boots. And of course, I got the mid cut with the zipper sides. They're waterproof with the fiberglass toe in it. Cost me like $12 every time I went because it was a little bit over, but it was on the list. I got like 7 pairs of boots now. I'll never buy boots. I told my wife, I said, you take a brand new pair, throw them on me, and throw me in a casket. I said, because I'll never wear all these boots.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, the good boots. My Red Wings, I was getting 5-6 years out of my Red Wings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on what year on my since 2020 when the fake demic caused a lot of stores to.
That's when I got my last pair that I actually needed to wear, but my boots would last me 2-3 years at least in my job. That was always the noses that wore out.
Yeah.
And but every year I'd go get another pair. And and then I'd be like, hey, I need a set of laces from the other ones. They were free. I'm like, here you go. They just give me another set of laces. I was like, cool. So I got extra laces. I get the rubber boot bumpers, which nobody knows how to put them on except for me, apparently. They don't make them anymore. I had to get them on eBay because Red Wing doesn't sell them because nobody bought them.
Yeah.
So I got those. That helps everything. I've had the same pair for 4 years now because I bought it. We got the last pair, and I'm working at home now, so I don't need them. So I wear them in the yard and the property and that.
Yeah, I think it was 2022, maybe 2023, when I got my first pair of Carolina shoes boots because they come in the 4E, so I get 11 4E instead of just 11 wide, which is actually 11E.
Yeah, that's what I wear, 11.5, 5E, the widest. Yeah.
Yeah. And
then same with like pants, shirts, stuff like that. My company,
it looked there. I wear these practically every day.
Yeah.
So
my company, we had a free store. It's like they'd allow you like 5 pairs or 8 pairs of pants and 5 shirts or whatever. The shirts were logoed, so I didn't have many of those. I had enough to get me through, but the pants, I'd outgrow them a little bit because I gained some weight. So I'd order 18 more pairs. I got like 2 30-gallon totes full of brand new pants downstairs or barely worn. They all fit me now because I dropped like 40 pounds.
Yep.
And I just wear a belt. That's it. So I got enough friggin' work pants now to last me forever. I ain't worried about that. I don't have to buy anything. Socks and underwear, baby.
The really baggy ones you have, if Tawaki happens, after a month, you will start wearing those around with the belt. And you go, oh, I've lost so much weight. I'm hungry. You got any food to spare?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Water. Water is a big one for people. Why? The weight. 8.8 pounds per gallon.
Yeah, wait. So here, I just posted a link to a video that shows you how to store water. You know what I just posted, right?
I'm way behind on the chat here, though, but yeah. So, water storage is a big one. I got a couple extra IBC totes with water in the shop. So that's 275 gallons. A gallon a day is 365 gallons of drinking water for me. But then I got several out there. When the wife comes up, we're going to get a couple more. Actually, I noticed the Mercantile Distillery in Shelley has about 20 of them sitting out back. I texted the guy I usually deal with, but he didn't text me back. Usually he's fairly quick on it, so he may have retired. He was getting up there. He may have retired or transferred back to the Boise office, the plant distillery. And so I'll have to stop by tomorrow and talk to them and say, hey, yeah, Randy used to sell me these at, first at $50, and then it went up to 60. And so, what are you guys charging now for the used totes? Now I want to get 10 of them, and it'll take me 2 trips. I get 4 in my trailer, 1 in the back of my truck, 4 miles down the road to here, drop them off, 4 miles back up, pick them up again. But yeah, I'm going to get some more of them like that. And yeah, it's just, what you're going to use them for. And if you can find them on deal, sometimes you get the ones from farmers that you can't put potable water in. But hey, guess what you can put in there? Toilet water to use for your toilet, for your laundry, for.
Yeah, just be careful. Some of those totes, if it was non-food, you kind of like paints and dyes and stuff. If
you're talking to a farmer, generally the farmers, what they use in those totes are going to be fertilizer. And if you find the right ones, do what the fertilizer they're using is seaweed. And if you get some of those, some of them they may have an inch or two of sludge still in the bottom. Guess what? You now got fertilizer for your garden.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, Kaylin has one that most of us don't have. She's in an apartment. She has to, pick and choose what she's going to store when the roof doesn't leak. Yeah, same water storage. Hang on, up here. All right, let's see here. Diana agrees on it. John's Life says. Exactly. Yep. My wife one year told me, just get the $59 boots up at Walmart. They did not last a full year.
No, they're garbage, and they're made out of. I think. Do you have to choose when you buy stuff from China whether it's leaded or unleaded? Like your Barbies.
They would last me about 6 months, and I get a second pair. Well, she wasn't noticing the $59, but she noticed the $259 when I went to Red Wing. And after I had done like 6 of them in 3 years, and I showed it, here it is. So in 3 years, I've spent 6 times $360. $360 for what would still be using my $259, which I would still be using for another 2 years. And my feet wouldn't hurt with the Red Wings, and my back wouldn't hurt with the Red Wings. Yeah.
So, you going with what you said about the wife and that? One of the other hard things about prepping is the spouse. Are they into it? Are they going to battle you? No, I'm not talking your spouse. I'm talking your question for the show, not the Gil's Private Life show. Yeah. The show. So getting your spouse or significant other to actually not fight back, or maybe be on your side, or at least be neutral about it. Like, oh, okay, I get it, no problem. I'll leave you alone. Yeah. And my wife used to she sort of fought me, and then she left me alone. Now she's kind of into it. So there's that.
And the thing is, though, sometimes they're not against it, and they're for it, but it's like, oh, we don't need top notch, just the stuff for emergency. So we don't need a Rolls Royce away when we can get a Jeep to save money.
My wife's not like that. She knows better. You buy cheap, you get cheap.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
You're never getting it out unless you cut it, but
yeah. Never thought of myself as a shoe hoarder, but here I am. 2 pairs of snow boots, 3 pairs hiking, 3 tennis shoes. Only 2 pairs of slipper? I buy every year. I'll buy 1 or 2 pairs at Sam's Club of the
totes.
Eddie Bauer slippers. Those things are so nice. But I wind up wearing. Sometimes I'll wind up in the wintertime since I don't go out very often. I'll be wearing them. Oh crap! I gotta go outside, and then I'm trudging in the snow out to the car real quick in the slippers. But they got nice rubber bottoms on them. But yeah,
That's why I like. Like I go to Ollie's all the time, and for no particular reason, I just go in there to see what they got. And I bought a whole bunch of Champion and Puma and other Eddie Bauer. I got a couple of those. Those are nice long sleeve shirts, reasonably thick for like $14 a piece, and I know list price was like 70. I would never go to the store and buy that, but those, it's like, yeah, I'll take 6. I'll take 4 of those. I'll get whatever fits me and bring it home. And I have a tub of clothing out at the cabin, including socks and underwear and everything in case I forget stuff or get stuck out there. I got stuff to get through on. I'll just bring it home.
Or you need to bug out to there.
Right. Well, there is that. That and a 55-gallon drum plus of freeze-dried food and goodies.
Yeah. And Jill has joined us here. Purple for the Ages.
Oh, I never have buyer's remorse. I may have spontaneous buyer's remorse, but then I get over it real quick. It's like, no, screw it, I'm buying it. Don't care.
Yeah. That is one thing nice about a lead acid battery over the lithium iron phosphate batteries with the charge control, the little safety thing built into them. Lead acid batteries by themselves, unless they're hooked up to a lot of wire, won't be affected by an EMP, especially if you're sitting there on the shelf, or with a kill switch on it, so they're disconnected, will be totally fine. The ones with electronics in it, it's iffy. If you disconnect them, it's iffy whether or not they'll survive. And there's the link that Mark was talking about. Okay. My first 2 pair of metal shoes.
Finding them in thrift stores, got several years out of each. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, thrift stores are great. I don't buy shoes in thrift stores because my feet, but other stuff, I'll find T-shirts, stuff, underpants and socks, unless they're brand new in a package. No. Sorry. I draw the line. Yeah.
My dad, the company my dad was working for when he retired, Signode Corporation. Signode owns Paxilloyd, the nail guns and stuff like that. They had, I forget the name of the brand. The truck would pull, big truck, like a semi with a 30-foot trailer on it would pull in, and it was a store on wheels for work boots and stuff.
Yep.
And he had to order special boots because he had his right leg, when he was 8 years old, he got bit in the ankle by a rattlesnake. And that leg was from the knee down was 2.5 inches shorter than his left leg. So he had a built-up platform work boot. I tell you, man, when you misbehave and he hits you just right in the back, and the tail button, it's like, straighten you out real quick. Anyways, he would order it, and they had him on file. And when the truck was coming in a month, he would call them and say, "Hey, I need to get this pair of boots delivered when the truck comes," and they would build the platform for him. Yeah.
Precognition. Yeah.
You figure out the odds of stuff and can't act like isn't going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen. We got to do something.
Yeah. Don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Excellent. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to do a video out here on what I did. So I took the lemon tree that I had in the big pot, put it in one of the IBC totes that I'd cut 1/3 and 2/3. So it's in a 120-gallon portion of the tank, and I filled that full of wood chips and the compost manure and had the valve shut at the bottom, put the tree in there, and was watering. All of a sudden, it's like, all right, the tree was looking like it was getting soggy. Oh, crap, it's closed. I started cracking brown water. Shut that off. Grabbed one of my cam locks and a little hose, and I filled up 5-gallon buckets from it.
There you go. Water everything. Fertilizer water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's another thing you can get, and I get these all the time, is 55-gallon drums. I'm specific about the ones I get. If you go to like a big hotel or a big resort or something, if you know somebody, you're not going to get in there and just go garbage picking. But the 55-gallon drums that had bleach in them, not the detergents, not the softeners for the laundry, the sodium hypochlorite.
Yeah,
you're fine. That's what's in your water supply anyway. I got a bunch of those. And then from dealerships, not the car wash, the washer fluid, which is alcohol and blue dye. That's all it is. Yeah. And I rinse them out. I got blue barrels everywhere. I use those for not drinking, although I'm sure if I ran it through my Berkey, I could drink it after I've rinsed them out real well and used them for years. But yeah, for collecting water and stuff. Yep. I got 2 55-gallon drums out at the cabin right now, sealed up with a little bit of bleach in them that I got out of the river. So when I get back there, when I go back in a week or two, I don't have to get water from the river. It's already there. I can just run it through my water heater in the fire and wash my dishes, take a shower if I have to, and I'm good.
Yeah. The IBC totes that I picked up from the distillery up here, the first 3 batches I picked up were clean. I mean, basically they had 193 proof potato alcohol in it that they were buying from getting shipped in from wherever they were getting it from. And then they were making they were watering it down to 70% for the vodka and doing that stuff there, however they do it. And then they were also making hard lemonades. And they were shipping the hard lemonades after it was made to Boise, because that's where they were processing those back there. And the Boise would ship the concentrate lemonade stuff here.
Ooh, bet those smell good.
They couldn't reuse those totes with the lemonade in them
because of the acid.
No, not because of the acid, because it's food. It's considered food.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Food you can't reuse. And so I got several of those and like, oh, wow, that smells like lemonade. What am I going to put in here? I know I'm going to use it for a planter. I just cut the top out, full of the comp. I layered some bunch of empty milk jugs on the bottom, some filter fabric on top of that, and stacked it full and with the compost mix and stuff. Everything did absolutely great in it. So
plant your lemon trees in there. They'll be happy.
Or they'll be going, I'm a cannibal now. I'm feeding off of other trees. No.
Trees do that anyway. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Can't hide from what's going on in the world. Yeah, you spot stuff and it's like, yeah. Yeah, the lithium iron phosphate are cheaper, and not only are they cheaper, they have more life cycles. A life cycle for a deep cycle lead acid battery, like a marine battery, is 350 cycles. That means you're taking it from full to down to full to down 350 times. A good lithium iron phosphate is 3,500 life cycles to take it so when it's fully charged, instead of being at 100, it's at 80%. 80%. Which means, before you kill that battery off, it's going to be your grandkids are going to kill it off.
Yeah. Hey, we haven't heard anything about those silver batteries that Samsung came out with.
Not
that
much
kind of
left.
vaporized from the news. They're not talking about them.
Yeah. Hang on a second here. Let me go ahead and that out of the way. Is it in one of the news articles, or is it one of the memes here? It's on the memes. So Ireland is just switched on a massive 200 megawatt hour battery that runs on nothing but carbon dioxide. It contains zero lithium, cobalt, or rare minerals of any kind. So we're going to talk about that one on Thursday. But yeah, but that's on a scale that we can't do, folks. But they do have that now. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah. Yeah. In several of my, I'm going to put that back up. In several of my novels, the characters comment about this, about people walking around like ostriches with their heads in the sand, not noticing what's going on. All the while, they're scouring to get. They've been most of they've been prepping for years. It's like, oh crap, it's happening. It's happening here in the next 6 months. This event's going to trigger all sorts of crap. And the government's saying things are fine. It's not going to affect us. And so the main characters are going bullpucky, and they're out buying everything they can because they know what's coming. But everyone else is just oblivious. And the main characters are actually happy that everyone else is oblivious to some extent. Yeah, they're going to be sad. They comment about it's going to be bad when so many people die because they're stupid. But they also look at it as, all right, if everybody were to freak out and panic now, we wouldn't be able to get all the supplies we need to get that we've been building to get up to that, because it's happening, years before we really expected it to happen.
If you look at the basic economics of supply and demand before everybody freaks out and buys all the toilet paper, but if you were buying an extra case, if you really needed toilet paper that bad, I'm using it as an example. It's a crappy example. If you were out there every month or every week, you go to Sam's Club, you buy a case of toilet paper, you bring it home, you stockpile it in your ginormous storage barn. Mm-hmm. And at the end of a couple of years, you got 1,000 cases of toilet paper, and all of a sudden, boom, it hits. Well, you didn't affect the supply because your one case you were buying was refilled by the supplier. So it wasn't like a Hail Mary, oh my God, we're out of, inventories are down. They just sent it out to there. They didn't run low. It's when everybody goes at once to buy it, or you just decide to go to the store and buy every single AGM battery on the shelf. Then that store has a problem, and everybody's wondering, why did this guy just buy all the batteries, regardless of size?
Yeah.
And buy one at a time. Buy things one at a time. You're not affecting the supply and demand.
You're just two at a time.
Or two at a time, or whatever. Same with buying canned food. You buy a couple, normally you buy one every 2 weeks. I buy two, but still go out the next 2 weeks later and buy another two.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw it down here in Pennsylvania last week, the whole Cumberland Valley. I could usually see the mountains that are about 20 miles away, and nope, couldn't see them. It was like just this haze. And if you look straight up, the sky was blue. So, it was a haze. That's coming everywhere again.
Yeah. Well, how many weeks ago was it? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Was it Friday? Friday night's topic was, do you have a fire plan?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as often as the national holidays. You get one in the spring, you get one in the summer, and you get some in the fall, and it's like, and even now and then you get one in the wintertime.
Yeah, AGM batteries I got one of those in my at the cabin in my solar setup. I've used it like twice, but it just sits there on the solar panels with the controller, just keeping a trickle charge, keeping it at 13.4, and it just sits there.
Yeah, I got two of the Goal Zero 150 watt little backpacker. You don't really want backpack, but they call them backpackers, for it. And I had it on the trickle charge and stuff like that. I was using it scouts for overnight scout trips for my CPAP. And after 6 years of using it, several times a year, all of a sudden I noticed it's not holding the charge as long. But yeah, and just the thing is, like, when I worked for Mountain Cascade Construction, they're the second largest underground construction company in California. We had a problem. We get that many pieces of equipment, batteries die, get holes poked in them, backhoes, excavators, dozers, whatever, things happen. And both Cat and John Deere, when they ship their, the 4D and the 8D batteries, they ship them dry, and they ship boxes of electrolyte.
Oh, the acid. Yep.
We decided, hey, screw this. Let's buy a couple extra and keep them in stock. And when we need one, we order a replacement one. So we kept 5 of the 4Ds in stock and 8 of the 8Ds in stock, along with all the electrolyte. And if one died during the middle of the day, grab two 8Ds or grab 3 4Ds and the boxes of electrolyte, and the mechanic would head out there and take care of it. And
that's how gas station. My dad had his gas station. When he bought the batteries for the station, yeah, they came with just boxes of the acid.
Yep.
Electrolyte. When it's just the battery acid. But and distilled water, it was that, and it was a ratio of that and the distilled water. He had the little battery filler back in the day where you pop the caps on a battery, and it's low, and it had a special little container with a
hydrometer
nozzle. No, it was just a plunger nozzle. You just put it on there, fill it up to a certain level, and then stop adding water to it.
Yeah,
and that was a standard thing back in the 70s. It's like you go in the gas station, hey, check my battery. They'd pop the caps off, get the little water of distilled water, and then bloop, 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 top them all off so your battery stayed good.
And the good gas stations would before they put more water in, they would check what's in there to see if it was getting
the right amount.
Too much water, and they needed to put a little more acid back in it.
Right. I actually have my dad's hydrometer. It's like a turkey baster.
Yeah, with a little floating thing there for those that don't know.
Except so now I wouldn't trust it now because that rubber is like deteriorated to hard plastic. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Very few will be ready, even among preppers. Yep. I mean, it's like, hey, I've been building, my wife and I have been adding to our supplies and stuff since we got married. Actually, the year before we got married, we started getting stuff because, she had moved in with me before we got married. And it was, that was 77 when she moved in. And so, 87 when she moved in. So, do your math. We're coming up on 40 years here next year, and for just being together. And we still know we need so much more stuff.
Yeah. And even with that, you may not know what you need, but here's the other thing that is one of the hardest part of prepping is literally keeping a mental inventory, so to speak, of your surroundings. As you drive around, we did a whole thing on this about 8 months ago on Jaren's site. And, what's out there? What do you see? What do you know? How are things used? What kind of buildings use what kind of stuff and have things there aside from the office building with the refrigerator and with, the people's lunches in it and a vending machine.
Yeah.
But, like a hotel with a swimming pool. Well, there's, I guess, what's in the back room where the pool is. There's acid, chlorine. Yeah. And you can do stuff with that.
Well, here's the other thing too. To do that, when you're driving around, look for city and county corp yards. What do they usually have in the corp yards now?
A corp yard?
Corporation yard. They just call them corp yards.
Oh, whatever. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And so what do you usually find in there? You'll find aero boards that have solar panels on them now.
Solar panels, batteries. You got the signs on the road. You got the little light fixtures everywhere. And if you look under each one, not that I'm condoning anything, but you look anywhere that has a solar panel on a pole, there's usually a little box on it. Guess what's in it? A little 12-volt battery and a controller.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need much.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you realize 90% of your stuff can be used in almost any scenario. Yeah. And it's only the specialty scenarios that you need to get specialty equipment for.
Right.
If you're worried about that specific event. Yeah. What's interesting though with the stuff we were getting from Caterpillar and John Deere, it was pre-mixed. It wasn't you put it out, it didn't add water to it. It was all right. You get a 4D battery, you get two boxes, you get an 8D battery, you get four, like the 2D battery, you get a 4D battery, you get 2 boxes, an 8D battery, you get 4 boxes, but you only use 3.5. And so you have, yes, but you learn quickly. All right, we got this is one here, and you date the time you cracked it open. You put a little clamp on the tip to keep it, and then when you got another battery, you use that one, and then 3 more instead of taking 4. So yeah, we always wound up building it more. And Bob's in here.
What's up, Bob?
Yeah. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, hydrometers are cheap and they're delicate. Yeah, you can either break them or damage them really easy.
Yeah, and you gotta know how to use it. I have one for my beer making. Oh yeah, it's 14 inches long, really thin glass. It's got the lead weight in the bottom, and it's got all the graduations on it. So how far it sinks is what your specific gravity is. You just need the charts to go with it.
My rad monitor.
Yeah,
whichever one is. Yeah. Yeah. We have rental bike racks that are solar powered. Yeah. So, yeah. What is it? If you're in the city and there's going to be a traffic jam and you need to get out of the city, you fill up your backpack. You go don't try riding out in a car. Get one of those electric bikes and get going. And let's see. Yeah. Nuke that raccoon.
Thanks, Bob. Love you too, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. I have never lived where a hurricane hits. Even when I was staying in Pennsylvania back in Mount Pleasant, the hurricanes never got that far in. And up by Aliquippa, West Virginia, Buchanan, West Virginia. I mean, you have hurricanes passing by, and down in that valley, you don't notice nothing. It's raining. Okay.
We get them here on the East Coast. It depends on where in the East Coast you are, how far inland you are. But we never got the eye where I am now, but we did up in New Jersey when I lived up there.
Yeah.
Hurricane David went right over our town. And I woke up first day of school. I woke up in the morning, trees down everywhere. I slept through the whole thing.
Oh, they're not e-bikes, but yeah. Well, all right. Here's what I do know. From where my wife is, if she was in San Francisco and she had to get out, she knows where the e-bike places are where she can rent an e-bike and get her out of San Francisco. Walnut Creek, not too far from us. They have them there. Pleasant Hill was thinking about putting them in, but he got inky on it because they really don't have the need for it.
Kaylin was talking about the solar panels on the bike racks for lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Just know this one thing. You're not going to bring your standard nut and bolt socket set to get them off. You need special tools, usually a safety Torx. Look that up. It's like a Torx bit of hex with a pin in the middle of it. Automotive. You could buy those at Lowe's, whatever. You just got to know what size. And now there's like 50 or 60 different ones, and they're all safety things that, like in the toilet stalls with those one-way screws, you ain't getting those off.
Oh.
No doubt, Bob.
And yeah. Oh, Bob, quick question here. Made me make sure I got this right so I can ask the proper. Yeah. How close are your relatives over to Mindanao? Because Mindanao had a 6.2 this morning.
Oh, he's close. They're close.
Mindanao. Yeah.
I know he is. He told me.
Yeah. But they had a 6.2 this morning. Yeah. You know, you don't worry about blizzards in Southern California unless you're up on Mount Whitney or something like that. But for the most part, you're down where, oh, here comes the snow. Wait a minute, never mind, it melted.
He wants to know what part of Mindanao.
I really didn't look at it. Give me a second here. I will tell you. I'll show you everyone here just a second here. Hang on here. All right, let me move this over to this page here.
Yeah, part of his family lives in Mindanao.
Okay, boom, there we go. So this was offshore on the very southern tip there. Yeah, so there's Davio City, but yeah, there's the 6.2, but we had a 5.1, 5.0, 5.4. Yeah.
That's a matter of how deep or shallow they are. If they're really deep, you don't feel it as bad. If they're shallow, it rattles the crap out of everything.
Yeah. This was offshore, and it was 67 kilometers down. The one here onshore was 24 kilometers down. So
yeah, I know Bob's up in Davao City.
Yeah, like he says, that area gets hits again and again.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. I think of you, Bob, and your family every time it pops up on my thing, 6 point or greater, than in the Philippines. Generally I look at it, but I was busy with the grandkids this morning. I didn't go in and look at it. The wires.
Yeah, she's talking about the bike racks.
Yeah.
The solar panels are small. They just go down just for the controller for the pay rental thing. But hey, there's still a battery in there. There's still a little controller and all that. If you can get it all in one unit, that's assuming you're not.
And if it's Tawaki or SHGF,
right?
You can,
Yeah, you're not going to be running credit cards.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's what's the hardest part for me is when I think about something, I plan it out, I draw stuff up, I plan it out, I run it past the wife, she looks at it, yeah. We start building it and we realize, crap, this ain't gonna work. Because there's a difference between design and function.
Yeah.
I mean, it always seems to happen. You get something, you plan it out perfect, you start working on it, and Mother Nature's sitting there giggling in the corner. You want to, you get this the hairs on the back of your neck start standing up while you're working on it. All right, something's wrong. What am I not seeing? And when you're done, you see it. Sandwich Islands are way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, pre-disastered.
Hang on a minute. You're gonna love this one here. So, okay, the loyalty islands were yesterday. They had a 6.3. Sandwich Islands on the 11th had a 6.4. Yeah. That's why I sign up for the USGS. I get the email notifications for anything worldwide over 6.0 or greater. But in the US, anything that's 2.5 or greater, I get I get an email on it.
I think I'm going to move to Ushuaia It's like one of the most southern cities in South America. There's nothing down there.
It's cold down there.
No, but there's a city there. I mean, there's a map and everything. You can even go on Google Street View and see it. It's pretty cool.
People will break the bikes free or never return them to the racks. Yeah. All right, but yeah, you know, one of the hard parts I see all the time is, for us is that things change. Technology changes. When I was still living in California, I had a huge battery box of ultra deep cycle RV batteries, and I had the solar panels up on the house there, and I had the cutting edge. And then 2 years later, when I was still living there, guess what changed? Lithium iron phosphate batteries came out, and it's like crap. And then, especially when I found out, okay, so my deep cycle RV batteries were 350 life cycles, and then the lithium iron phosphate came out at 3,500 life cycles. Like, money I should have waited and spent the money later on the others for practically the same cost. Yeah. And Howie's in here.
What's up, Howie?
Gardening's another thing that it can be very hard. And my garden has been biting me in the butt this year because of the wind and everything. I planted a bunch of peppers, and the wind practically killed them all. Long after the winds were supposed to stop. And about 2 hours ago, I was outside, and we got a gust coming through for about a half an hour, and the wind was just horrendous again, and the sprinklers were on, and none of the water on the roof, none of the water was hitting the south side of the roof. It was all hitting the north side, and then going to the patio cover, and then down into the garden on the other side. And the water system trying to water everything else there was just, the trees on the south side of the property were not getting watered by the sprinklers. It was blowing the water straight across, and that water was hitting the back side of the property. Making bone broth. Cool. Yeah. That's one of the things we're doing, and my wife is now realizing we should have doubled the budget for the Lombardy poplars and put more of them up, and doubled the budget that we set for the blue spruce trees, and put twice as many of those in, and together that would cut a lot of the wind that is hitting the garden area. And this winter this spring was so whacked out with the work I was doing out there. I don't have that many sunflowers that came up, and I had some volunteers come up in the front planter. That's the biggest sunflowers we have, but the other ones just aren't big enough to protect the pumpkins and the Hubbard squashes and the others out in the front, and they're just getting beat to snot by the wind. All right, let's see. Okay, all right, we're over a little bit. So one of the things I wanted to make sure everyone got the idea is, like, you're not alone. Every one of us is having problems in prepping. Whatever it is, one thing for one person, something else for someone else. You may have the solution for me. I may have the solution for Mark. Mark may have the solution for Jill. Jill may have the solution for Kate. Sharing experiences is how we learn from each other for what works best. And then, of course, Bob has also another whole different set of experiences with a house over in the Philippines as well as here. So we all learn to do what we can do, and we share what we can share, so everyone else can not have to reinvent the wheel. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Here's what's coming up here. Thursday night is the Midnight Ride, and I got some really cool emails. Thank you, Kaylin, and some others for sending those. Friday night on Camp Patton Family Compound is Coping with Weeds. Allie, if you want to come over on Friday at that'll be 5:00 Pacific time. We'll be talking about weeds. Saturday is the flipping the script from last Saturday. This is after all the women have vanished. What are your plans? Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound is cooking in cast iron. All right, and next Tuesday is going to be a special one. 13 years of Gray Man prepping. It's been 13 years since I put out my first videos for Homeland. I actually was using it to put out videos for Homeland Security on travel or things you need to know about TSA, for customs and integrations, and bringing stuff in and out. I was putting out videos to help people understand that until finally the federal security director saw it. He goes, hang on a minute. He made phone calls. He goes, keep doing it for a little while, and then you're going to knock it off because I'm getting all the other agencies in Homeland Security to do their own daggone videos. So anyway, so 13 years next Tuesday. All right. So everyone, stay happy, stay safe, keep adding to your preps, and we'll see you Thursday night for the Midnight Ride.
Yeah. Have a good night.